Now that we have taken a look at how the online store looks like, let's dive deeper into understanding the architecture. Our architecture is divided into three primary components: the front end, middleware, and the database. The first component we're going to talk about is the database. Our database is MongoDB. MongoDB, in our case, has two collections: products and orders. Docker Hub provides a standard container image for MongoDB, which is what we have used here. In the Kubernetes cluster, we set up pods. These pods reference containers. Our pod for the database refers the MongoDB container. Because we need to protect our data from crashes or restarts of the pods, the data is actually stored in a physical volume. This physical volume can be set up either in the cluster or in a highly available storage outside of the cluster. Our Kubernetes pods access this physical volume through the physical volume claims. Because the pods are ephemeral, which means they change the host names or IP addresses every so often as they scale or restart, etc., the mechanism to connect to the MongoDB database is through a component in Kubernetes called as service. We have set up a MongoDB service on top of the MongoDB pods. This service helps in service discovery as well as in load balancing if we were to increase the number of pods for the database. The next layer is the middleware. As you can see, we have split our middleware in multiple smaller applications. We have a separate application for orders and a separate application for products. This is one of the idea behind setting up microservices. So instead of creating one monolithic app with all kinds of services, we are now able to separate each individual component in a separate app. The high level architecture of each of these middleware applications looks exactly the same. You have actual application written in Node.js and Express. This Node.js and Express.js app exposes REST APIs, which are then accessed by the front end. The Node.js also connects to the backend database using the MongoDB service. These containers are referred into their individual Kubernetes pods. The whole idea of setting up pods in Kubernetes is so that you can scale them. Now, the idea here is you can scale each individual component independently of one another. You can even deploy changes independently of one another. And that's the true power of microservice. Moving along, we have a very similar architecture for front end. Once the front end is built, it is set up in a container and then referenced inside one or more pods, just like the middleware. So in general, if you can see, we have done few levels of separations here. The first separation is in terms of the layer of your architecture, whether it's front end, middleware, or database. Within that layer, we then have possibility to even split the app further. For example, in middleware, where we have split the orders and the products. And last but not the least, we then have also separation to scale each of the component independently. So in general, if pods is the smallest unit of control in Kubernetes, services play a huge role in discovering those services, but at the same time, load balancing those services. Now, these services are not accessible externally. As you can see, the type of the service mentioned here is cluster IP, which means an internal cluster IP is provided to each of these cluster services. That way, there is a common IP address for the service, which then connects to one or more IP addresses that are on the pods. However, in order to expose these services externally, we have then introduced another Kubernetes component called Ingress. Think of Ingress almost like another service. According to this architecture, one can access the orders APIs with a path that is api.onlinestore.com/orders. And we will get to see how this is actually leveraged as we dive deeper into the code. Now, similar to the ingress setup for the APIs, we also have a separate ingress for the front end. This ingress refers to the web services app through the root path. So now anybody who enters www.onlinestore.com on the browser, they access the web application. From an end user standpoint, they access first the web application. The web application is, since it's a client side application, when it starts running on the browsers, it needs to call the APIs to pull the data from the backend services. That's when they call the api.onlinestore.com. Now, in all of this, a DBA may need to also access the MongoDB database for administrative functions such as creating indexes, looking up tables, records, etc. Just like the MongoDB container that is provided on the Docker Hub, we have another Docker image called Mongo Express, which is a Node.js application that is connected to the MongoDB database through its configuration. And instead of a cluster IP load balancer, we have now set up a load balancer type of a service. The load balancer Kubernetes service creates something called as a node port that exposes the pod directly outside the cluster. And that is why we do not need another ingress component here. The database administrator can then access the Mongo Express app directly from his or her browser. Now, in the next few sections, we will dive deeper in each of these components